What's up, boxing world? We have an update on Teofimo Lopez. He's to fight Kambosos in the spring. They moved it to the spring, so they're looking at a possible location in New York. Because the location in Australia, due to the restrictions on the COVID-19 and everything like that, they still having trouble with making the fight happen in Australia, which they thought it would be a bigger crowd. So that's the reason why they chose Australia. But they're looking at a possible location. The first location is in New York City. I guess they trying to see what kind of pool Lopez has. I'm pretty sure he fought in New York and everything like that. So I guess they trying to see the sales and everything like that. So plus it's his hometown. So he's trying to bring one of like a big fight now that he's got all the belts and everything like that, which he beat Lomachenko successfully. So he's trying to do the whole look like he's trying to do the whole Earl Spence thing. So that's a good thing. Get your people, put on a good show for your people in New York, family and everything like this, so they can see the fights. So be a hometown name, real good big hometown name. It's working for Earl Spence because he just outsold Canelo Alvarez in sales in Texas. So I think that'll be good. Kambosos, he's 19-0. So he defeated Lee Shelby. Defeated him by decision. So I seen Kambosos, how his style of fight and everything like that. And I'm looked at. Of course, I know Lopez. So I think Kambosos, he's a good fighter. He's real rough and rugged. So he could give Lopez a little bit of trouble, but I see Lopez coming out on top. But Lopez is pretty young. He's got the youth, so this is mandatory. So I don't see him giving. I don't see Kambosos giving Lopez too much trouble. So and then if Lopez gets past his mandatory, which is Kambosos, I think it would be in his best interest to fight a guy like Devin Haney, and not keep talking about it. Fight him actually, sign the paperwork, and don't keep talking about it. You got your shine now that you beat and dethroned Lomachenko. Who I know Bob loved him to death. Loved Lomachenko. So I know Bob, I bet you he was pretty salty about it, but not too salty, because Lopez and Loma is signed to him, so he ain't losing. He still got a champ. So I think that's the reason why Bob went ahead and went through with the fight. Because if Loma loses, or if Lopez loses, they still sign with Top Rank, so he ain't losing nothing. He's lost a fighter, which is Lomachenko, which is an older fighter. So he really wasn't too salty about it, but I'm pretty sure he was, because he loved Loma. So, but Loma's, he's old and he hasn't been really fighting that much. So, so he ain't too bad. And Lopez is 23. So, he has room for growth in his career, and, to keep it going, keep the money train going if he doesn't lose. So, man, even if he does, he still can, still bring in money for Bob Arum and stuff like that. So, but if he just gotta make sure he make the right movements in his career, so that way he won't rack up too many losses. But can't be ducking people, man. You got to get these fights, so don't be ducking. and get these fights out the way. You got guys like Devin Haney, Tank, Ryan Garcia. You got who's Shakur Stevenson. You got a whole bunch of interesting fighters out there, man, in his weight class. So, but and then the whole thing with the belts. Lopez, he has 3 legit belts. I wouldn't call. I mean, the whole thing with the WBC is a whole big mess. So Devin Haney has a WBC belt and Lopez has a WBC belt, but they saying that Lopez has the franchise type of belts, which is not a real belt, and Devin Haney has the WBC belt, the legit WBC belt. So I mean, it's just a long story and a conversation for another day. So I just, I think that's why I think that Lopez should go ahead and fight Devin Haney, and if he beats him, he can go ahead and get that belt, get Devin Haney's belt, so then he can officially call himself the undefeated champ who's unified. So I think he should just go ahead and fight Devin Haney. Go and get that out the way so fans and people can stop saying that he's ducking like he says. So go and get that out the way and then move up, because he preaches that he wants to fight Devin Haney and then move up to 140. So I mean, if you're gonna do all that, just go and get Devin Haney out the way. But I know you gotta get your mandatory out the way, which is Kambosos. So, and he's got no losses. So the thing is, you don't know. I know I said that I'm leaning towards Teofimo, but the thing is, Kambosos has no losses, so he hasn't lost. But I mean, styles make fights, so it could be an upset. Because last 2020 we had a lot of upsets. We had a lot of upsets with the Anthony Joshua and Ruiz thing. Like, nobody was expecting Ruiz to win, and I did see though in that fight, with that fight, I seen Ruiz, like how he fight. I was like, dang, I said to myself, I was like, dang, this man got some quick hands. I think he might beat Anthony Joshua. Like, I said that in my head with no stunting or anything like that. I said that in my head, and then he ends up beating him. He got a little bit of he's on the chubby side, but I'm like, he's short and he's got quick hands. So, and Anthony Joshua is tall and big, so I felt like that would be a problem for Anthony Joshua. So, I mean, and then it eventually was, and and Anthony Joshua came back and won that fight. Of course, he was staying on the outside, boxing on the outside. That's the best way to do that. I'm sorry, if you're the taller fighter, you need to box on the outside. You can't be trying to box a shorter fighter in the inside and think you finna do some damage. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that's not that. The inside game is Andy Ruiz, his cup of tea. That's his whole thing in the inside. So he already knew that he wasn't beating Ruiz in the inside, so that's why he chose to stay on the outside and beat him, and then he got his belts back, and he did not want to fight Andy Ruiz no more after that. So it would be dumb to fight him again. So, but back to the whole Devin thing. I think Devin is a tough fighter, man. Like, he's a tough fight for anyone. Anyone in the lightweight division. I think he's a real tough fight for anyone. So, because Devin Haney, he's a pure boxer, man. He reminds me a lot of Floyd. His style of fighting and everything like that. So, and I know Teofimo, he mentioned something about his foot being hurt in the Lomachenko fight. So he mentioned things on that. He spoke about that, saying that his foot was hurt in the Lomachenko fight. And I'm like, dang, this man beat beat Lomachenko. I don't know if he capping or not, because I don't know. I can't look at his foot and tell. But if he did, they both said they was hurt. But if he did beat Lomachenko with a hurt foot, that's crazy. Because Lomachenko, man, he looked for a while to be unstoppable. So I think that's pretty good, man. But yeah, and he came out when he mentioned that. He came out and said that he's at 70% on his foot wise, so he should expect to be like 100%, like for the recovery, because he had foot surgery, so he expects to be 100% whenever he fights Kambosos. So I mean, that's just one of the things that stuck out to me when he spoke about that. I'm just like, dang, man, this man fought with a broken foot, because Lomo didn't. But the thing is, Lomo, when he said he was hurt, he really didn't look like the same Lomo that I seen in other fights, like moving around the ring and stuff like that. That's why I wish they would have fought again. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing that fight again. That way, clear the room, clear the air with, uncertainty and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think it would be good to see that fight again, but, it is what it is. They both agreed to not fighting again after that. So Lomo can't get mad about that. So, I mean, Lomo, he's pretty upset about that, I could tell. But, I mean, and then Teofimo, he didn't look like the same energetic type of person when he fought Lomo too. So they both looked kind of off. So they both was fighting with injuries and stuff like that. But you never know. You don't know how true that type of stuff is. They say one thing to not look bad to the public, because they can't deal with the negative comments from some fans, boxing fans, and people who are not fans, and they can't deal with that. So it's just crazy how all that stuff turned out. So, and Teofimo, he's still standing on being the true champ. So he came out and proposed the idea. Like, he also came out and proposed the idea about saying that boxers and promoters need to do a 50-50 type of fight deal, where it's not just one-sided, like the whole 60 what is it, 60-40 with the Earl Spence that he was proposing to Terrence Crawford, saying that he will fight Terrence Crawford if it's 60-40. So Teofimo came out with a good idea, talking about it need to be 50-50. So that way, it can be more about the fights and stuff like that, and not turning fans off with the whole, numbers, throwing all the numbers out and stuff like that, with the high numbers being one-sided. And it should, I mean, that I think that's the best thing that he's said out his mouth so far, since he got beat Lomo and got all the belts. I feel like that's the best thing. So, and it's just it should go back to, like, it should go like that would help boxing. I feel like, I think it would help boxing, because UFC definitely took over. Like, you can't even argue that UFC took over. But the thing with UFC, they don't get paid as good as boxers do, and it's crazy. So, but UFC popularity wise, I would say UFC took over. That's my opinion on that. So, I think that's a good idea that Lopez came up with. I think it is, man. It should be, because it should be 50-50, because we all win if you think about it. Like, the boxing fans win, and then the boxers, they might not be getting their big old the big bid, the money wise, like a 60-40 or you know, whatever the numbers look like. But you know, they still get paid, and they're like the fight fans. We still get to watch a good fight. So why not do 50-50? Like, let's change, because it's a new year. It's 2021. It's a new year's. So let's do things different. Like, it's boxing is it seems like, from what I see, it's like you know, who like the boxers are chasing out the money and the popularity. Like that's what they want. Like, they want to be the top this, top dog, or whatever, you know. And the fans, we suffer in silence. So like everybody else, we all suffer in silence. But I feel like it's a new type of time, man. It's not like when Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Lennox Lewis, or you know, all the greats. You know, it's not like that anymore, man. It's different now. The boxers now are focused on money and popularity. So, man, it's just that's just cut straight to the point. Like, I can't. It's no edits right there, unfiltered. So, like, they just focus. It's just crazy, man. So we need to get boxing back to the original form. So, I mean, that's a good idea that Teofimo came up with. I think it should be 50-50. So, but you never know, man. Boxers, they say one thing and then do another. So it's just, you never know if he's truly honest, but it sounds like he's being genuine when he says that. So, but I don't know, man. Y'all just tell me what you guys think. Thanks for watching another video. Like and subscribe and comment. Make sure you hit the bell icon. All right, man.